The group was all rest up and prepared to go through the Tunnel of Love. This is the Tunnel of Love? Asked Ellie. Yes, it is, Ellie. Now this is amazing, Sister said. You okay, Alice? Okay, Alice asked Zoe. My stomach hurts, Zoe replied. I know it still hurts due to what's going on, but try not to think about the pain, Alice said as he patted Zoe's back and pulled her into a hug. As they heard Zoe begin to cry. You okay? Sister asked. She'll be okay, Sister. Let me handle this, Alice said, as Sister then had a saddened expression on her face as she walks away. Alice then heard his stomach rumbling. He placed one of his hands on his stomach. Was that from you? Zoe asked. Yeah, that was me. Sorry, Zoe. I haven't eaten in a while. I have no idea when was the last time I had a decent meal, Alice said, as then he saw that Zoe was still having cramps. I'll be okay. Okay, Alice, Zoe said as Ellie looked in her backpack to find a bag of cookies. I have a bag of cookies. I found them while we were on the fairgrounds, Ellie replied as she handed the bag of cookies to Alice. What kind of cookies are they? Alice asked. They are chocolate chip. I checked to make sure they were still good to eat, and they are. Ellie offered the rest of the group cookies, but neither of them were hungry, so only Alice and Zoe were the only ones who ate them. Thanks, Ellie, Zoe said as she and Alice started to eat the cookies. Sister and Ellie even had a few cookies themselves. Chocolate does help women with period cramps, Alice said to his Zoe as he hugs her and she feeds him a cookie. The group then started to walk through the Tunnel of Love once everyone was continued to walk. This water doesn't look natural, Coach said. Yeah, so don't drink it, Nick said. Cool looking water, Alice added. Careful, Zoe added as the group were walking through the tunnel, as Zoe then got splashed a bit by the water, as Alice caught her. Whoa, Alice said as Zoe looked into Alice's eyes. Hey, Alice got ya? Ain't nothing gonna happen to you now. Hey, no kissing, y'all, Coach said to Alice and Zoe as they snickered a laugh in one of the rooms in the Tunnel of Love. Alice then found a katana sword. Alice did. Zoe, he called, as Zoe ran towards the room where Alice was and saw that when he found a sword. Hey, I want you to have this, he said. At first Zoe wasn't sure, but Alice wanted her to have it. Yeah, he said. Then Zoe gave him a hug. Man, this is the best day of my life, he said as he hugged her back while rubbing his hand with one hand and lightly moved his other hand towards her butt cheek and give it a gentle squeeze. Did you just touch my butt? Alice, Zoe asked with a laugh. Because your butt is soft like a pillow, he said. You're funny, Alice, Zoe laughed as the group walked around through the Tunnel of Love until they were able to find an exit out of the Tunnel of Love. Finally, fresh air, Ellie said. A helicopter. It looks like it might be looking for survivors, Rochelle pointed out as Alice saw a roller coaster called the Screamin' Oak. Nick saw that there was a jockey in the distance and was able to shoot it down without a problem. Aw man, that's a Screamin' Oak, Alice said as the group hopped over the fence and they were going to get to the controls of the roller coaster. Is anyone here? Ellie asked as the group looked around and noticed that Sister wasn't with the group. Where is Sister? She asked. Sister, where are? Coach said until he saw Sister on the roller coaster. There you are. I'm starting it, Ellis said as he started the roller coaster ride. Sister smiles and laughs as she was riding the coaster and went past the group where the gates opened and the group ran inside the coaster and ran on the tracks. The ride has distracted hordes of his zombies, which of course the group was able to run on the track and shot down the zombies as much as they can while they ran on the track. The alarm was annoying everyone. Someone has to shut off the alarm, Rochelle said as they got to the either side of the ride and saw Sister, who was off the roller coaster ride. Ellis ran to the controls, but before they reached the end of the track ride, the alarm turned off and made the zombie horde stop coming around to distract them. It's off, Ellis said. Thank God, my ears are ringing like crazy, said Zoe. Then a hunter was about to pounce at Zoe when Ellie shot down the hunter. You okay? She asked Zoe. Yeah, thanks, Ellie, Zoe said as she hugged Ellie. The safe house is just in that shack. We made it, Ellis said as the group followed Ellis into the safe room, which was on the boardwalk. They walked down the boardwalk until they were able to find the safe house. All was quiet, so everyone walked inside, and they were all safe. That was too close, Ellie said. I know, that was too close. With all of us fighting the hordes of infected, this is something we've been through, we're trying to fight through. I sure hope Brother Bear's okay, Coach said. I'm sure he is, Coach. I hope that Farmer Ben did not hurt him, because if he did, I will grab his throat and shove something down his... Nick said as Sister was at the corner of the room, not looking too happy. What's up with Sister? Ellie asked. I have no idea. Maybe something's bugging her, Rochelle said. I'll talk to her. Rochelle walked over to Sister and crouched down to her level. Hey, you okay? Rochelle asked as Sister looked up. Hey, Ro, Sister said. Is everything okay? Rochelle asked. You've been very quiet. I'm just lonely, Sister replied. What are you saying you're lonely? You have all of us as friends, Rochelle said as she sat down beside Sister. Alice and Zoe have been spending more time with each other and than me. I think Zoe is starting to forget about me, Sister said sadly. Don't say things like that, Sister, Rochelle said as she patted the cub's head. Zoe and Alice just want to spend time together. They'll never forget about you. With Rochelle saying that, it made Sister better. The group had decided that they would rest in the safe room and continue when they were ready. The group then found out where they were in the barns. Ellie woke up to see that Sister Bear was not in the safe room, so she grabs a weapon and slowly walks out of the safe room. She killed a few wandering zombies and then she found Sister Bear, who was sitting on the picnic table near where the bumper cars are. Hey, Sister, what are you doing here? Ellie asked as she sat down beside Sister. Nothing is wrong, Ellie, Sister sighed in sadness. Something is wrong. You don't sound like yourself. Please tell me what's wrong, Ellie said as she placed down her weapon. It's about Zoe, Sister sighed. Since Alice confessed to her love for her, she hasn't been spending more time with me. She's been spending more time with him since then. That's what happens when couples get together. They want to do things as a couple, Ellie explained. Zoe wants to spend time with Alice at the same time that he wants to with her. They're great friends. I just think Zoe and Sister are dating, she'll forget about me and even spend time with me and brother, first, Sister said as she fiddled with the jump rope that she has in her hands. Sister, Zoe won't forget about you or spend time with you, and she'll spend time with you and brother. What makes you say that? Because before Alice and Zoe met, she was like a big sister to me, Zoe replied as she looked up at Ellie. Sister began to explain about the fun times that she and Zoe had together, and Ellie realized that she had a special bond with her. Sister and Ellie were just sitting on the picnic table where the group found Ellie and Sister Bear on the picnic table. There you girls were. We were getting a bit worried, Zoe said. Why were you two here? Nick asked the girls. We're just talking, but other than that, we haven't heard any special infected around here, Ellie said as the group heard a charger. He was nearby. I hear a charger. Watch out for him, Alice warned everyone as he walked towards the bumper cars. They killed the zombies that were wandering, and they saw the charger at the doorway of the bumper cars. Zoe was able to sneak behind the charger and used her katana, and she was able to attack the charger and kill him from behind. She was able to kill the charger without knowing, so of course she was able to do it without him noticing her. Got him, she said. Nice shot. Rochelle smiled at Zoe when she did that. Then Sister got into a bumper car. Can we please play bumper cars, please? Sister asked. You know the answer. Now we have no time for that, Ellie said as Sister sighed and jumped off the bumper car. Okay, Sister sadly said as the group walked through the building at the exit of the bumper cars. They got to another game which was like whack-a-mole. Sister wanted to play that. Alice and Zoe were getting tired of Sister wasting their time. They wanted to save brother and get Sister and her home. Wow, this game must be cool, Sister said as Alice and Zoe got annoyed and walked towards her. Now, Sister, we didn't come here to play games, Zoe said. Zoe's right. Remember we told you guys about games and crap like that, Alice said as Sister sighed and the group continued to go through the barns, which of course they led them to climbing over the barns on the roof. They killed a spitter and even a boomer along the way, as well as they got close to the stadium where the concert was being held out. As soon as the gates were opening up, the group ran inside and they were shooting down the hordes of infected. As soon as the infected hordes were all down, the group made it inside the safe room. We made it, Alice said as he closes the door to the safe room. Then Sister was talking to Ellie about her story about Witter Jones, on how Zoe saved her and her friends along with brother. So, yeah, Zoe said as she stood close to Alice. You okay? He asked. I'm okay, Alice. I'm just a bit worried about Sister, Zoe replied. Why? He asked. Well, the more time we spend together, I think Sister's becoming more jealous of us dating, Zoe said as she hung her head down in shame when Alice looks down with a sad look on his face. Zoe, don't say that. I'm sure she just doesn't know me as much as she knows you. But when she gets to know me more, then I hope she'll change, Alice said as he lifts her head and the couple looked into each other's eyes. Sister didn't pay any attention to what was going on with Alice, Zoe, so the group had decided they would rest in the safe room for now, and they would have to come up with a plan when they were ready so they could be rescued. After the group got inside the safe room and they all took a break, they all prepared themselves to leave the safe room. Now, here's the plan, Coach said as he gathered everyone to the group. When that helicopter flies by the stadium, we put on the Midnight Rider's music to signal him, and then we'll signal him, and then once he sees the signal, he'll pick all of us up and maybe help us find Brother Bear. Coach said to the group, sounds like a great idea. I sure want to kill that Farmer Ben that took Brother away from Sister, Rochelle growled as the group were making sure that everyone knows the plan on what to do. Meanwhile, Farmer Ben was at the parish bridge, and he was looking at his magic mirror. Magic mirror will see what the group of survivors is planning, Farmer Ben said, as the magic mirror was showing Farmer Ben that the survivors, along with Sister, were getting ready to leave the safe room. Going to rescue, are we? Well, we won't let you win that easy, Farmer Ben said. The special infected were sent to the carnival stadium. It planned to attack the survivors. When the group of survivors got to the stadium, they all looked around. No one was there except for the group. Wow, look at this place of how huge it is, Sister said. This is where concerts are being held, before the outbreak, that is, said Ellis. This is where the Midnight Riders performed here, Ellie said. Yep, Ellie, that's right. I used to love their music as much as I still do, Ellis replied. We'll need to turn the lights on, Rochelle said, as Coach walked up to the bleachers and then got the control system, where he was controlling the lights. He turned on the stage lights and they came on. Now what? Nick asked. We need to start the concert down, and then now we'll be attacking the horde of infected. So we gotta make sure we are ready, Coach said, as everyone was on the stage, and Ellis was on the mic. What is Ellis doing? Sister asked. He's just trying to entertain Zoe, Rochelle said. Check 1, check 1, 2, Ellis said as he was testing the mic. Zoe then laughed. Gonna reach for the top, stay on the mountain, Ellis sang the part of the song he knows. Every lady's crazy when her daddy's not around, Ellis sang more as Zoe laughed. Then she walked up to Ellis. I love your voice when you sing, Ellis. It makes me feel that I'm in heaven, Zoe said as she got close to the controls of the stage, and Ellis started the concert. The song was by Midnight Riders they were playing. Ellis stared into Zoe's eyes. Hey, Ellis said to Zoe. I love you, he said, as he and Zoe were about to kiss when a horde of infected started to attack the group. They were able to shoot down the infected, including special ones like chargers, jockeys, spitters, smokers, boomers, and hunters. Then they heard a tank, and he was running up towards the group. Tank, light him up, Rochelle said as the group started to shoot down the tank. As the group were taking down the tank, a jockey jumped on Rochelle. Ah, get this thing off of my head, she screams as Zoe and Ellis were able to shoot down the jockey until he was dead, and he was able to let Rochelle go by the time the last 2 bullets were shot at him. We got him, Ellis and Zoe both cheered at the same time. They both looked at each other and laughed. Then another horde of infected, along with special infected, attacked the group. While they were shooting down the infected, a charger charged at Nick at one corner of the stadium. Shoot this thing! He's crushing me! Nick cried out for help as Ellis was shooting down the infected to get to the charger, and started to shoot at him when the last bullet killed the charger. As Nick got up, Ellis turned around to see that Ellie was the one who killed the charger. Thanks, Ellis and Ellie, Nick said. You need help? I fired the last bullet at him, Ellie said, as the fireworks were causing an uproar of music. The group was all prepared as the helicopter arrived to pick them up. By the time the helicopter got to the left side of the seats, the tank was killed when the group started to run. Choppers here, let's go! Zoe shouted as the group began to run towards the helicopter. After everyone got on the helicopter to be taken off, no one got left behind. Well, we all made it. This is amazing, Coach said. And no one died, which is a good thing as well, Rochelle said, as Sister was cuddling with Zoe. How do you feel? He asked. A bit better, thanks, Ellis, Zoe said, as her cramps weren't as hurting as much as they were. It's not getting better by the infection now. Yeah, it's been hell all right, Ellis replied. I just wish Francis and Louis could have come with us, Sister suggested. Then they could have helped us. Well, Sister, I do too, but some people make their own choices, Zoe replied as the helicopter was approaching the swamp and the pilot became a zombie and tried to attack everyone inside. Nick shot the pilot and the group got off the helicopter safely, and they ended up into a train cart and abandoned. Is everyone okay? Coach asked. Yep, we're okay, Rochelle replied. Nick, what the hell? You shot the pilot, Ellis said as he was angry with Nick. Well, Ellis, he was a zombie, Ellis. He must have got bitten by the time he picked us up, Nick replied. Well, that's true, but does anyone know where we are? Rochelle asked, as no one really knew what they are. It's very dark in a swampy area. Maybe someone can help us, Ellie suggested as the group got themselves prepared and they were all ready to head out to the train cart. They also got to a gas station where they saw a few wandering zombies that they killed, but nothing unusual happened throughout the swamp.